Big U was accused of one of his rap artists in a Vegas desert in January of 2021. Now, previously, we only knew the victim as RW because that's what the indictment says. But now we know the victim's name, Rayshawn Williams.
Now they're saying, well, Big U's motive wasn't the rap song. It was that he found out that the rapper and his son, Daiyan, were lovers.
Congrats, brother.
I appreciate y'all, man. Oh my God.
Man.
Yes, sir.
I'll tell you what,
Yes, sir.
I remember you coming up, by for that pro day and spending that day with us, man. It had a big impression on us, and you're coming into a great situation, man. Eric Kendricks,
broke out that said that Big U was, might have been involved in your son's. Do you believe he's responsible?
I know for a fact he's responsible.
So there's a wild theory going around about Big U's motive for allegedly unaliving a young man named Rayshawn Williams, and it ties directly to rumors about Big U's son Daiyan being on the DL. Federal prosecutors initially claimed that Big U unalived Rayshawn after Rayshawn dissed him in a song, but some inside sources are now saying that the real motive was an alleged secret relationship between Rayshawn and Daiyan. Apparently, Big U worried that Daiyan, who now plays for the LA Chargers, would have a tough time in the NFL and lose deals if it came out that he was gay or bi. The story's taken a major twist with leaked texts and shocking new evidence. And now Rayshawn's family is also speaking out, with his mother saying she knows for a fact that Big U took out her son. So what really happened to Rayshawn Williams? Could Big U have gone this far to keep his son's personal life under wraps? This whole case just keeps getting crazier. So let's dive into everything we know so far.
According to the indictment, Big U allegedly Rayshawn by multiple times, then dragging his body into the desert and left him there in a ditch not far from Interstate 15. A witness told investigators Big U was one of the last people seen with Rayshawn before his murder. But why would he kill his own artist?
So as most of you probably heard, Big U was arrested and hit with RICO charges. But now it looks like things might be getting even worse. Federal prosecutors are now saying that they believe Big U, whose real name is Eugene Henley, might have been involved in a brutal murder. They think there's enough evidence to show that he killed a young man named Rayshawn Williams in Las Vegas and then dragged his body out to the Nevada desert to get rid of it. Big U's indictment states there is probable cause to believe that Henley victim RW on January 25, 2021 and dragged his body into the desert in North Las Vegas. On that morning, NLVPD detectives discovered the body of RW lying in the desert near the Apex landfill. RW had been shot multiple times and his body had been dragged and left in a ditch not far from Interstate 15. Hours before his homicide, RW was at the studio of Witness 2 with Henley. The indictment also claims that throughout the investigation, no investigator, family member, witness, or any third party has ever identified any individuals that would have motive or opportunity to murder Rayshawn, except Big U. Now, when it comes to why Big U might have done it, court documents seen by NBC say that Rayshawn was an artist signed to Big U's label, Unique Music. And after Rayshawn dropped a diss track aimed at Big U, he was allegedly kidnapped and killed as payback. By the way, before Rayshawn was a rapper, he was a wide receiver for the Crenshaw High School football team. And the day after he was killed in January 2021, the football program announced his death on Instagram, saying, "It is with a heavy heart that we announce the passing of Rayshawn Williams, one of our very own wide receivers of the Crenshaw family, and hope that everything goes well along with them." And while Big U has pleaded not guilty to all the charges against him last month, including the murder, Rayshawn's mom is now breaking her silence and saying she believes the feds got it right. TMZ Hip Hop spoke with Rayshawn Williams' family, his mom Shadonna Brown and her daughter, and Shadonna straight up said that she knows for a fact that Big U is the one who killed her son.
And right now, I know there's news that broke out that said that Big U was, might have been involved in your son's. Do you believe he's responsible?
I know for a fact he's responsible. There's no doubt in my mind. Mother's instance, I know he's responsible.
Why do you think that he did it? That's like the big question.
Because you don't like the word no.
Okay.
You don't want nobody to tell you no. Everything's supposed to go your way or no way. So I feel like my baby did something that you didn't like, and you did what you did. Now karma's at your door.
Do you think Big U is a real threat to the community right now?
Of course.
There's a lot that There's a lot there. I mean,
of course he is, because if he could do this to my child, what makes you think he couldn't do it to nobody else's child? Or if he haven't done it to nobody else's child? Or if he don't have anybody child right now feeling threatened because of what he have said to them or what he have done to them. So, of course, he's a threat.
But here's where the story takes an even darker turn. A lot of people have been questioning the idea that Big U killed Rayshawn just over a diss track. Rayshawn wasn't a big name rapper, and most people wouldn't have even heard the song, let alone cared. So now the federal prosecutors have dug deeper and found more links between Rayshawn and Big U. And it turns out that Rayshawn was actually teammates in Crenshaw with Big U's son, Daiyan Henley, who's now a linebacker for the LA Chargers. Daiyan has reportedly refused to comment on Rayshawn's death, but there's been a lot of talk in the streets about another theory. Some people are suggesting that Daiyan and Rayshawn were more than just friends, and Big U might have killed Rayshawn after finding out about their relationship. Now, to be clear, this is all just speculation, but the rumors are definitely rumoring. People are saying that Big U was worried that Daiyan's NFL career could be at risk if people found out he might be gay. On the flip side, some people in the industry, like Wack 100, have shut down these rumors. Wack argued that the theory doesn't make sense, saying that openly gay players have already made it in the NFL, so it's unlikely that it would ruin Daiyan's chances.
Now they're saying, well, Big U's motive wasn't the rap song. It was that he found out that the rapper and his son, Daiyan, were lovers. And he was scared that if this got out, he would be affected in the NFL. Now, it's a few key things. One, there's people that have came out in all sports that it doesn't affect.
And here's the thing. When Wack said Daiyan possibly being gay wouldn't be an issue for the NFL because there have been other gay players, it's actually a bit more complicated than that. There have been only 16 openly gay or bi players in the NFL's 105-year history. In fact, Carl Nassib was the first active player to come out as gay, and he did that in 2021, the same year Rayshawn was murdered. And while the NFL has made some moves toward being more inclusive, like putting anti-discrimination rules in place and backing LGBTQ+ causes, there are still clear signs that problems persist. For instance, former Minnesota Vikings punter Chris Klue claimed he was cut from the team because of his strong support for gay rights, saying that team officials discouraged him from speaking out.
In an article for Deadspin titled, "I was an NFL football player until I was fired by two cowards and a bigot," former Minnesota Vikings punter Chris Klue opens up about his firing, claiming he was cut by the team for his recent gay rights activism, even adding that one of the coaches said, "We should round up all the gays, send them to an island, and then nuke it until it glows."
Also in 2021, Las Vegas Raiders head coach John Gruden stepped down after emails came out showing that he used homophobic, sexist, and racist language. He mocked the head of the players' union, DeMaurice Smith, calling him Dumb Boris Smith, and saying he had lips the size of Michelin tires. Gruden also said the Rams shouldn't draft queers, referring to Michael Sam, a player who was picked in the last round a few years earlier. He exchanged emails with team staff featuring topless cheerleaders who were pressured into posing by the Washington team owner. For Wack to just toss out that there have been gay players in the NFL like that means everything's fine now, well, that's just not the truth. Even though 16 players have come out, most of them only did after they retired. That's because the NFL still isn't a safe place for gay athletes. The league might talk a big game about inclusion, but behind closed doors, there's still a lot of homophobia and discrimination. And we've also seen coaches and executives say openly homophobic things when they think no one's listening. So sure, there are a few openly gay players now, but that doesn't mean the NFL is welcoming to gay athletes. It's far from it. Now, does that prove that Big U killed Rayshawn Williams? Of course not, but it does show that Wack's argument isn't really solid. And then there's Wack's comment about knowing Daiyan since he was 7 and saying there's nothing feminine or gay about him. That's such an ignorant thing to say. I mean, that speaks for itself.
It doesn't affect.
Yeah, there was
But two, let's get to the real part of it. I've been knowing this young man since he's been about 7, 8 years old, right? There's nothing feminine or nothing gay about Daiyan Henley, right? So I don't know who started that one. Yeah, me and Big U got our problems, we got our issues, but whenever it came down to his children, I've been in situations since we've been at it where I've stepped up to the plate
But what does nothing feminine or gay about him even mean? Being gay isn't about how someone talks, dresses, or acts. It's about who they're attracted to. You can't look at someone or know them since they were a kid and decide they're not gay just because they don't fit some stereotype you've made up in your head. But then again, it's whack 100. So can we really be surprised he's saying ignorant stuff? Also, the fact that people are straight up claiming Wack is a Fed who snitched on Big U and now he's acting like he's trying to defend Big U and his family is honestly insane. Anyway, back to the rumors about Rayshawn Williams and Daiyan. There are now some leaked messages going around, and while we can't prove they're real, the person who shared them claimed that a man texted them claiming he hooked up with Daiyan. The text read, "Yes, just put it out, but don't tag me. A lot of our family knows this too. We just never said anything because he wasn't openly gay or bisexual. He had a girlfriend too." Now, in Big U's indictment, they try to explain the motive by saying Rayshawn Williams used to live with Big U for a while, but allegedly got kicked out after wearing a chain to school that belonged to Daiyan. But here's the thing, that chain incident happened in high school, and the place 4 years later. So why would Big U sign Rayshawn to a record deal after that if that was the issue he was mad about? If Big U is really responsible, there must have been a stronger reason than the chain thing or a diss track. So the rumor mill is going crazy now, and a lot of people on social media are saying that they've heard from different sources that the real reason Big U allegedly Rayshawn is because of his alleged relationship with Big U's son, Daiyan. Someone on X said, Big U definitely killed that kid because he was in a gay relationship with his son and knew that could detriment his NFL bag. Wasn't over no effing diss track. And someone else commented, I've been said this. If you notice, the narrative is always someone did a diss track towards Big U. There's definitely another reason that seemed more like rage, because he could have easily had someone just or did it how he allegedly did to Nipsey. Big U is washed up and grimy. But what do you think about this theory that Big U son's rumored lover? Do you think people are reaching with this? Or does this seem like something Big U would do based on everything we know about him? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't miss out on this next video.